Cheers, welcome to my channel. This is a daily tarot oracle reading, Tales from the Vector. This is a general or collective reading, so just be aware parts may or may not resonate with you. Take what works for you and leave the rest. This is a timely reading, meaning that if you're watching it at this time, it's the perfect time for you. Having said that, if it's been a while since I posted this, what was going on in your life back then, that may give you further clarity as to your situation now. So we're going to begin with the underlying energy from the bottom of the deck, and we have the King of Wands. King of Wands energy is one of four kings in the tarot. He is considered the sexiest and the most charismatic of all the kings. He represents the element of fire. His wand is made of wood, and it represents passionate action. And wood fuels the fire, and also it comes from a tree, which represents the deep roots of the ancestors and the offshoots of our descendants. And he is ready to get up at a moment's notice, go on an adventure. He's very charismatic. People enjoy his energy because he's an optimist and a visionary. So he loves to tackle new projects, new adventures. At the back of his throne here, there is a salamander with chasing its tail, as well as this lion and a little salamander here. And this represents protection from fire, because he is representing the element of fire. I noticed a while back, though, that there's like a face on the back here. It looks like a nose, mustache, two eyes, and smoke coming out of the mouth and the nose. And this could just mean that he's smoking hot, or sometimes it might mean where there's smoke, there's fire. He tends to be the last one to settle down of all the kings. He has a lot of opportunity, and all the fire signs are a little bit that way. Most of them tend to be kind of the last to settle down because they have that fiery energy, and they really value their freedom, in particular Sagittarius and energy. So this is talking about the Page of Swords. The Page of Swords energy is representing the energy of the pages. The pages would work for the king and queen at a young age, 7 to 14. But when you recognize back in those days that the lifespan was only half of what it is now, they didn't have childhood like we have it. And it would be a real coup to be a page for the king and the queen, a much better lifestyle and a much better occupation than most of them out there. He is representing the element of air, which is thoughts, and the swords represent your mental intelligence and your discipline of your mind. You can see here, he always reminds me of a golfer about to take a swing. Golf is a very mental sport. And when you're golfing, you're not really competing against other players. You're competing against yourself to see if you can keep it together, and control your mind so that you don't lose and your emotions, so you don't lose your temper and throw the club. Like on the first hole, if you have a really bad hole and it's like, oh, there goes the score for the entire game. This energy, if you have discipline of your mind, you can get back in your, in a good space in your head, and maybe get a hole in one the next round. And so this is, he has the, he understands the logical question. So he's the only one who's not looking at his element or focused on it, because he's looking away. He's thinking outside the box, and he's looking to his intuition. These swords are double-edged. One edge is your intuition and the other edge is your logic. And so to pay attention to both will empower you to get ahead of the game. Sometimes this can just represent like a breath of fresh air and an aha moment, like, aha, finally I found the answer. And this is talking about the Two of Wands is representing that element of fire again. This person is standing on the turret of his castle, and it's kind of an energy of, he has this globe in his hand, and that represents, his energy. I have the world in my hands. But he recognizes he's a big fish in a little pond. The place where he's from is small, and he recognizes that if he really wants to expand his horizons, he might need to go on, leave where he's at and move on to a bigger place, maybe even across the water, he's thinking, maybe to another country. And sometimes this energy can be an entrepreneur that has been very successful and just wants to be able to expand his business. And this always reminds me of like franchise energy. Find someone to look after the business here that's already doing really well, and expand by setting up another location or a few, that type of energy. And also this can represent someone maybe that's passionate about someone and is thinking about expanding his personal space, having a partner and maybe beginning a family. This energy is being left out in the cold. The Five of Pentacles is showing, this is representing isolations, quite often forced. This is, two people out, this one doesn't have shoes on, and this one's on crutches and is wearing this big bell. And the bell is representing the plague bell. In the old days, they didn't have apps to isolate people during plagues. So instead, what they would do is force them to wear this big, heavy bell. And then when they came into town, everyone would hear them coming, and they could run and hide and get away from him. And which made it kind of hard for him to get a job or, get groceries or do any social activities whatsoever. And he's traveling with this other person that doesn't even have shoes in the snow. So this energy is talking about being left out of society, being isolated, feeling like a black sheep maybe, that type of energy. And the snow can represent all the, all the snowflakes, can represent different tactics being used against someone. Like if, anyone can handle a flake or two, but snow, when it piles up, it can get really heavy to the point where it could even cave your roof in. So this is talking about being isolated and possibly being isolated because of tactics that were taken against you to put you in that position. And then we have the Knight of Cups, and the Knight of Cups is representing, the communication and information coming in, like the page. I forgot to mention that, like the page is, and the Knight of Cups are both representing communication. And in the old days, they would always be male, but these days it could be a female that's in their masculine energy. And it also can represent all the different ways of communicating. So the Knight of Cups would be your typical knight in shining armor, and he's coming in with a cup of love. Now the cups do often represent romantic love, but sometimes they represent love of someone, or it could be love of someone or something. This can also represent the energy of something you love to do or be. And so he's coming in with some information or communication, and quite often, with him, this is the Knight of Cups is that romantic, the knight in shining armor that we hear about in romance novels. This energy would always be in person. That was the only long distance communication they had, was to travel by horse, from kingdom to kingdom, and then back and forth, to return the questions and the answers. But nowadays, this could easily represent a phone call, a text message, something coming in the mail, that type of energy. It could also be an email, or maybe a social media post, and then you see, you go to an event posted on social media, and you run into your knight in shining armor. And the next thing you know, you're dating, and then possibly making a further commitment. And then we have the High Priestess here. She's sitting on her throne in between these two pillars. There's a lot of information coming in. This is talking about 100% infinite potential. Information equals energy. So the more information we have coming in, the more energy we have to deal with. So that can be positive and negative. She's sitting between these extremes. And sometimes when we're in a situation where we're sitting in between two extremes with a lot of information coming in, it can feel very overwhelming. And so that's when it's important to use your intuition as well as your logic. She uses her intuition to be able to feel for the answer rather than logically trying to sift through all the answers. And she is very good at it and well known for being able to do that, find creative solutions that way. She's sitting in between two very extreme pillars, because this one represents Jesus and that one represents the devil. And then we have the world card. So the world card is when you become neutral enough to everything that's happened to you, that you've learned everything that you can from the last cycle you were on. In the tarot, sorry about my cat, she's got happy feet. So she's got to circle a couple times here. What are you doing? Are you purring? Are you purring for us? Okay. All right. So the world is representing coming to the end of a cycle and moving into a new one. The new cycle, the Fool starts at the 0 point. And then at this card, when this card shows up, we know, okay, that cycle is over and it's time to go on a new cycle. You've learned all that you can from this. It's talking about having made achievements in life, and there's no point in staying in this energy, because it's time to move forward and learn something about something else, somewhere else, possibly. And that's the passion for discovery from the Page of Wands. So now we have the Page of Wands, who's very focused on his element. He is dressed up to the nines. He's got a feather in his cap. Very, very similar energy to the King of Wands. Very optimistic. And the pyramids in the background represent his love of adventure and wanting to learn all about life and explore the world. And the thing about the Page of Wands to remember is he has a tendency, if you can see, he's really admiring his wand, and he is very focused on it. And so quite often he's thinking with his little head and with his passion rather than with his big head. So sometimes when his information comes in, it can be a little bit scrambled, because he's not paying attention really all the time, a lot of the time. Think of a young man, that's impulsive. And then we have this energy of the Nine of Pentacles. So this is a big improvement over this. Now, what's going on here? We're on this new cycle now, and we have this passion coming in, and we have 9 pentacles. So the 9 pentacles, it's a big improvement over this energy, that's for sure. It's sitting on the intuition and the Knight of Cups. So, there could be this energy coming in from the Knight of Cups could be an energy, maybe you're marrying someone that's doing quite financially well off. This is talking about, this also reminds me of Nikola Tesla, the 369. He always would say that the 369, if you understood the beauty of the 369, you would have the key to the universe. And I feel that's what this falcon represents. I think he's talking about the ratio here, basically. We have 6 pentacles that she has her hand on, and then we have 3 behind her here. And these 6, this is a ratio, so 2/3 to 1/3. And basically, and she's keeps her hand on 2/3 of what she has to pay her bills, to pay the business bills, to make sure that everything is taken care of financially. And then maybe there's a bit of a slush fund in case something breaks down. And then she also has these 3 on the side. So one of these maybe she donates to charity, another possibly maybe she's saving up for a vacation for the family or something of that nature. And the third one maybe is an investment that she wants to invest in that's a little bit more risky. So she's willing to put a certain amount of money into it and get the good return. But if it doesn't pay off, then she won't have lost so much that she can't continue to move forward. And so I feel that's kind of the energy here. This card is basically also pre-Empress energy. So in the minor arcana, there's 4 queens, and then in the major arcana, there's an Empress. And basically the Empress embodies all the qualities and all the learning of all the four queens from all the life experience, usually learning through hardships as well as, energy of being successful, but she manages to stay on her path and continues to be the best version of herself she can be, staying on a divine path, like not giving into temptations along the way to take from others what it doesn't belong to her, that type of energy. And so this is talking about that pre-Empress energy after this shift into this new world. This is talking about having way more passion for like getting up in the morning and like, woohoo, let's start the day off in a good way. And it looks like this offer that came in, perhaps this is the King of Wands. That has come in with this offer of marriage. There's a lot of wand energy here, a lot of passion, and and it's also a much better lifestyle. So this energy is this is the marriage card. A lot of people consider this to be the card of marriage in tarot. It sometimes can just represent a commitment of some kind, and possibly maybe even a partnership in business, or just commitments in general. But in this context, I would say with this sitting on this card, I feel like this King of Wands considers this pre-Empress energy to be his someone that he's passionate about, and the communication is like, let's back here the night came in. So this is talking about the world. There's a lot more passion in her world now, and I feel it's coming from the King of Wands, and perhaps they're beginning to talk about maybe an offer of marriage came through. He sees her as his Empress, and this energy is like bringing her out of the cold, of course. And she, this card is saying basically it's the beginning of fulfillment, the promise of fulfillment. But it's basically like, if you think of it in this context, that you have the down payment for your castle, but you still have to make the mortgage payments. You have, the partner, they've said yes to the question, but now you have the wedding to plan, and then you need to focus on the relationship itself, because that relationship is going to need some energy put into it for growth. And look at this, we have the Ten of Pentacles. So this is like way better energy here than what it was sitting on. So no more being left out in the cold. Now we're living like the most ultimate lifestyle that we can, basically. We have 10 of Pentacles here now. So this is talking about, it's raining money, which is great. But besides that, it's also the lifestyle. So being with the partner that you love to be with, starting a family, having the pets, and, even having time to stop and chat with the neighbors, living where you want to live. It's like the ultimate fulfillment of your lifestyle, and having the ease in that lifestyle in a perfectly imperfect world. So it's basically, you've hit the golden buzzer or someone has hit the golden buzzer for you. So this is talking about the Magician. The Magician is saying, yes, this is a major energetic upgrade, and he's saying that's what this card here was about. I feel the King of Wands wanting to expand his horizons by having his lifestyle. Perhaps he'd already been working on a lot of coin, and so had the pre-Empress energy, and getting, and now they were both ready for a commitment. And this energy, the Magician, it's just an energetic upgrade, but the Magician's pointing to as above, so below. And so where he's pointing to is this energy here of, yes, you were correct when you said that this King of Wands wanted to extend his family and possibly change location. So that could be a possibility. Maybe this pre-Empress energy is from another country, that type of energy, or something like that. And so he's pointing to this energy that this is going to be a 100% infinite potential, and it's going to be to the power of infinity and beyond, that you can bring these thoughts that you have of what you want in life, and you can bring that down to earth and manifest it. You have all the tools you need on the bench here. You just need to learn which tool to use at which time and how to use each tool. And you may have noticed when you have, if you've ever had a garden or a yard to landscape, that type of work, that the tools, even if you leave them laying around the yard, they don't get up and do it on their own. you have to work them. And then we have a lot of opportunities coming in with this love. So I feel this energy is saying it's like this is a really big shift in energy. This represents kind of the energy of a divine couple. Maybe soulmate energy, because it's like them coming together has increased their ability to attract a lot of opportunities. Each of these cups is a separate gift. Now this, sometimes this card can be seen from a negative context, because people sometimes get overwhelmed, and some of these gifts maybe, like what's this snake doing here? And there's a mushroom, and this is representing beauty, flowers. A laurel, that's being that you've won. I don't even know what these two are. I'll have to look them up at some point here. But in general, all of these are actually like possibilities that are disguised in challenges. And so some of these might be quite challenging, but the bigger the challenge, the greater the possibility as well. And so it's saying like they're like a black hole that's just sucking all this energy towards them. And like a black hole, they have to put their own spin on it to choose which opportunities they want to work on and which ones they want to wait to work on. But this is destined for them to have all this opportunity. And the more challenging the cup is, the more opportunity that could come in from it. And with them, two of them working on it together now, it's a much different scenario. And then we have the Hierophant. The Hierophant is talking about justice coming in for this energy. So this can just be, the Hierophant represents traditional structure, and that's sitting on marriage. So, it could represent just that as well, but I feel it's more than that. I feel there's something that happened here. And this could be representing some sort of justice coming in for this. Now, the justice might just be meeting your like a real good partner that you get along with really well, and you're happy, and you have all the pentacles here, and the cup of love and all of this energy, the passion. And so this is talking, though, there is some sort of justice that needs to come down to earth here, because the Hierophant is representing justice comes from the spiritual realm, and then it moves down to the physical. And so this can represent religion. So if you're a religious person, you can, this represents maybe like the leaders of your church, popes, cardinals, bishops, gurus, rabbis, whatever the energy of the religion is, whatever religion you're in, that would be representing that energy. And then if you're more on the spiritual side, it represents connecting with God, with Source's energy, the Most High, through your ability to meditate and pray and go directly to Source without the intermediary. And then the 3D justice is our legal systems and our court systems around the world. And these two are listening very closely to what the Hierophant wants done. And this is a blessing coming in. His right hand is in the form of a blessing. So there's going to be even more blessings coming in. Or it could be saying these two coming together was a blessing. Now, and whatever they did here that day, they maybe went into a church to pray and meditate, and then got some answers, and life started to shift for them, for both of them. I'm kind of wondering what happened to them, but we'll see. Maybe they'll show up here. We have the, maybe this is them. It's just coming up in my head, but they look different here than they do here, that's for sure. So this energy is talking about, I have an enclosed mind, thinking there's only two ways to do things. That could have something to do with this traditional structure. Sometimes the Hierophant represents that you have to buck the traditional structure and do things slightly differently. So you know, this is sitting on the marriage and like kind of that energy and this energy. So there could be, but I feel that justice is coming in for what happened back here. And it's saying it's really important right now to have an open mind. We just had a new moon, you know, a while ago, and on the 31st of May, what is it today? I think the 23rd of May. So like about a week from now, there's going to be the blue moon. There's 2 moons in May. So this happens about every 2.5 to 3 years. You know how they say once in a blue moon? Well, it's a rare event. And so this is, I like the energy. It's really been, it's a Sagittarius moon. It's all about, again, this adventurous passion for the new, wanting to go on new adventures, that type of energy. And it's really, you know, if you keep an open mind to the new energy coming in instead of closing your mind to it, you're going to be much more likely to enjoy that type of energy. You know, and the blue moon energy is, I feel like a stepping stone for what's coming up on June 9th, because on June 9th, Venus and Jupiter are both going to be moving into the sign of Cancer. And this energy, I can't remember how long ago it was. I think it's been about 30 years or something since last it was there. Don't quote me on that. I'm going to look into it more for my, after I'm done the blue moon readings, then I'm going to do the readings for the beginning of June. But on the June the 9th, it's also a rare event for those two to be together in the sign of Cancer. I'm pretty sure it's around 30 some years ago. Last time. But this is, a lot of astrologers feel that this is the luckiest day of the year, and some are even going so far as to say the luckiest day of the decade. So, I mean, this isn't something to be like preparing for. If you're having a closed mind, open it back up. Sometimes, though, this can represent someone really wanting to get in touch with their intuition. And so they're sitting here and they're closed off from everybody, kind of like this isolation energy, but in a different way. And it's talking about wanting to be able to see with their third eye, you know, think outside the box instead of only relying on logical answers. But this typically can mean this or that, or my way or the highway, if this is like the Hierophant's energy. You know, the Hierophant can be like very traditional. This person, though, is sitting with their feet turned out. And in body language, this is it's about leaking masculine and feminine energy. So it's leaking energy from the base chakra. And the base chakra is your ability to thrive and on, you know, in the 3D. And then she also is protecting her heart here. She's got her arms crossed over her heart, and her right arm is holding her left arm back. And so this is representing logic, and this is representing intuition. She needs to use both. The swords are double-edged, so if she uses both her intuition and her logic, then she's going to be able to, you know, have a strong choice, and then be able to implement it logically. The one, if you use both, if you're using your intuition, it's more about feeling. What does your heart want? What are your authentic desires? And if, you know, she figures that out, then she'll find there's way more than just 2 ways of doing anything. And this energy can talk about, then she can logically apply it in the 3D. And then we have the Chariot coming in. So whatever this energy is coming in, things are already improving, but like it's going to get even better. I think like this energy, I feel it's these two coming together is very powerful. And it's talking about, this is already happening in the spiritual realm. This is justice, I feel, for whatever happened down here. But there's more to it, is what I feel. And so this is the beginning stages of it. And so they're both on their chariot, it feels like, and, you know, coming together maybe to meet. And this energy is, you know, like, look, there's no reins here. There's, it's just like tung, 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 tung. It's like a tank. It's coming, like there's no stopping it. It's already been decided. And look how this person is leaving their city. So it's this energy here, you know, and like having their back to the city, having their back to the comfort zone, and moving forward towards a new adventure type of energy. And I feel that they're both doing that, and together they're going to meet. And look how it's their intuition has been telling them, go here. So maybe they, you know, maybe they saw the same information and thought, hey, I'm going to go there to that event. And boom, they meet each other there. That type of situation. And then it's a passion for new discovery. I feel this is when this reward comes in, and that's what God is saying. This is talking about if this person is thinking, should I go or shouldn't I? Use your intuition. Yes, get on that chariot. Same here. I think he's already on it though. And so this is talking about having passion for a new discovery, and maybe finding each other at some event that you travel to. And look at this energy. This is like a big decision for this person, because they think traditionally. Interesting. So is it a big decision about like getting married to someone? Because of, I mean, the knight is like offering a cup of love and a commitment here of marriage. And they're both on the chariot. I feel like, well, I feel that the King of Wands is on, and maybe she's thinking, should I go? Should I stay or should I go? Go. This is not a fun energy to be in. So she's gone through all the thoughts that you could have, you know, of all the things that could go wrong. Like, you know, when you're dating someone maybe that you don't know, and you're thinking, all right, I've already been here. And so, you know, checking, you know, doing all the research, checking out, is this person legit? Should I go to this event and meet with them? That type of energy is what I'm picking up. And so this is, again, look at how she's got her back to her castle. And so this is about, okay, I think I'm going to leave my turret and I'm going to go on this adventure. But it's taking her a while to figure this out, like, should I or shouldn't I? And these could represent her thoughts being planted. And this is like all the emotion around it. Something really made her very vulnerable here. This was probably like tactics used by people that were like close to her. And I feel like that's what these represent, all the thoughts behind her back, and her being bound, you know, by thinking there's no way that the people that I care about, that I love, would do this. But she's finding out they did. And it's been hard for her to trust after that. And you can imagine that. But her right foot is forward, showing that she is, and it's on dry land. So she's ready to move forward with her right foot. She's still got her left foot in this puddle, but it's shallow. So not that her emotion is shallow so much, but there's way less emotion. She's worked through it. And there's only one left. And I feel like, okay, I'm going to take action. She's finally, okay, I'm going to go. That kind of energy. And then look at that propels her, because she's facing her fears right into Empress energy. Interesting. So making that choice, overcoming that fear, working through all of that energy has elevated her to Empress status. And the Empress energy is representing all four queens from the minor arcana rolled into one. And this is talking about being pregnant with possibility, and being very fertile. So if you're not wanting to get pregnant when you hook up with Mr. Passion here, you want to make sure you're taking care of that, because this can quite often represent, there's a lot of passion here, and this energy is very fertile. So the Empress, the way that she manages, like, she's known to be a generator. Like, she just keeps on manifesting. And she's known to, like, for instance, this wheat at her feet. It's talking about she's known to grow bumper crops. But she puts the energy into it. And how she does it is she makes plans. And so that's kind of how she's tackling this energy, I feel. Okay, I want to grow wheat, or is it durum? And I'm going to grow durum this round. It would be better for the conditions that they're predicting for the summer. So she decides which field would be best to grow that in. And then she checks the soil. Does it need amending? Does she need to fertilize? What does she need to do for the soil to make it real fertile and productive? And then she has to decide, you know, she has to pick the rocks, or have the rocks picked, and the stones and any other, you know, anything that would damage the seeding and the harvest equipment. Then she plants at the most opportune time. And then she waves her magic wand and she says, okay, nature, do your thing. She's an organic farmer, so she doesn't spray. So then she moves on to her next project, and she has faith that nature will do its thing and it will produce for her, because it always does. She's known to have bumper crops, and that's the energy that she's in. She doesn't worry. She does everything she can in the planning stages, puts the energy into it, and then she recognizes, okay, that's as much as I can do. The rest is up to nature, and I have to just wait and see what happens now. And then this is a big difference from this breadcrumbing energy. I feel like that's what this energy here is saying. So this is about having learned, like I feel like back here, this is representing this energy here, you know, where you're literally having to beg for money because you don't have enough to be able to move forward. And then on the way you learn, you know, and I feel like this King of Wands recognizes that she's pre-Empress energy, and as soon as she makes the choice to upgrade her life like this, she becomes like the Empress energy. So this is understanding the best investment is in yourself. So whatever she's decided to invest in herself. And she has 6 pentacles here, which is upper middle class, and she can give to this person here. So this energy is about giving to this person. But this one, there's the scales of justice hanging here, because this person already has something in their pocket. So this could be a grifter. Why would he give his money to this person when they already have what they need to, you know, move forward? So it's about learning that discernment. How much time, money, and energy are you going to invest in someone or something? This is getting to a very high level of it. But now that she's an Empress, this is talking back to how it was when she was back here. This was back here, and then how much she has progressed. And so the best investment always is in yourself. But I also feel that this energy is talking about how she was breadcrumbed by the family, like this energy behind her here, the city that she's leaving here. So the only way to get successful is to move forward and go somewhere else. And why not go with the King of Wands, who is standing at the turret of his castle, feeling very, you know, successful, but realizing I need to expand. And then we have victory. Woohoo! So this is talking about, yes, having victory in your life. This is because you reined in your emotions, disciplined your mind, got on that, you know, like you're basically on your high horse. That's what it's coming up. And this is talking about, you know, this could represent something like receiving a promotion, say, and there was a lot of competition for it. And the people that in the background here, they also wanted to have this position, but they recognize that this is talking victory. She's in a leadership role, and look how proud she is, how far she has come. And that's why this person has so much passion for that energy. He sees her already as an Empress. But she received this position because everybody else recognized that she definitely has put herself in a leadership position by being able to rein in her emotions and discipline her mind to be able to move forward in such a strong way and prove to everybody, and mostly to herself, that she is actually a leader. And look at this. Now we have the Queen of Wands, with the King of Wands. So they're well suited to each other. There's going to be a lot of steam. So this is talking about this energy coming together. She's at the top. She's in her natural sunny energy. The sunflower represents that energy. It follows the sun. She has the veil behind her represents her. She's the Queen of Wands is known for being able to use her logic and her intuition and be very creative, like this energy here. But she's escalated it now, and you can see she doesn't have the symbols for protection from fire on her robe. All the other figures, like you see the Page of Wands, and we can't, the Knight of Wands isn't here, but the Knight of Wands also is wearing this protection from fire. She doesn't need it because she commands the fire. She's the one who sets the tone and draws this energy in. She has this little black cat here. She's not worried about superstition. You know, other people might not have a black cat, but she's like, I'll just use my creative solutions and I'll find a, you know, she doesn't believe in bad luck. She doesn't even, what do you mean bad luck? Just, you know, find a creative solution. That's her energy. So going from the bottom to the top and back down again, we have the Page of Swords coming in with some information. We have the Magician. It's an upgrade. This is bringing in a lot of possibilities, and she becomes an empress after, like, her energy is elevated after learning this give and take. How much to, and then learning that the best investment is in herself. And this would be her natural energy, a sunny disposition, you know, really confident, and a natural beauty and energy to match the King of Wands. She feels victorious in this. She has more passion for life again. They're both, I feel, going to meet together from this, whatever this event was that was advertised. That's how they're going to meet, and they'll bump into each other, and it'll be like love at first sight. And it's a whole new world. So there we have it. There we got a real beautiful love story here. Which is nice to have once in a while, because there's a lot of stories out there, a lot of readings that don't quite work out that way. So let's enjoy this one for today. I feel like that's that energy, though, of the, you know, because I've been doing all these blue moon readings, and most of them have been like this, you know, mixed bag, but like I really feel like the blue moon will be like, it's on the 31st, and it'll be like the first step towards moving towards this June 9th energy that's coming up. So it's good to feel like there's some optimism out there, and there's some good energy coming through. I'm going to clarify this for those of you who want clarification. If you're leaving a reading here, thanks for your time and energy, and you know, thank you for your likes and comments. I really, really appreciate them. Also, consider subscribing. I would be honored if you did so. So my oracle is Tales from the Vector. I started this back in 2007, and in 2020 I completed all 64 paintings. I do have a website, talesfromthevector.com, and on that website is a gallery with all the paintings in it. And so the energy is or all the numbers on these cards represent the order of the paintings in the gallery. I'll put them in the description box below with the information for the website, so you can go to the gallery and look them up. They say a picture paints 1,000 words, so maybe you'll learn, you know, it'll give you further clarity as to your situation. So we have the strength here. This is talking about having integrity and strength to face whatever it is that you have to improve yourself, so that you can get to this, you know, to where you really want to go. It's about continuously upgrading your energy as much as you can by being the best person that you can be. And then we have transition here. So definitely the death card represents birth and death and birth, basically, rebirth. And so that there's this information coming in is inspiring on some level, that it kind of is talking about, I feel like, the beginning of the end of this very difficult energy here. And I feel like this energy is talking about, well, it's interesting because these two end up together then, but at one point they don't know each other. I feel like this is like they haven't met yet, But it's actually all this difficulty that this energy goes through that causes her to be able to rise up to the energy that he notices her, if that makes sense to you. And then we have the Cancer energy coming in here, and that's the moon energy. There's a lot of emotion around right now because two full moons in one month tends to raise the emotional quota here. And Cancer is ruled by the moon, and it's also very emotional. Like, that's the most emotional sign. And the attachment is a karmic space, and it's basically, I feel it's talking about this energy again. What's yours is mine, and what's mine is mine. So I feel like the justice coming in, there might be some legalities. There's not a lot of cards here saying that. Sometimes this can represent arrest. This can represent not just mental prison, but an actual prison. And we do have victory here. This breadcrumbing energy could be like missing money from theft. We do have, this is not pleasant energy. There's something going on there. But other than that, I don't see a whole lot of, did I say arrests could be coming through here? And this could be not just mental, but, this could actually be physical jail. But that's not the main part of this reading. I do want to say, though, that when I have horoscope signs come into my readings, I'm not talking about individuals. I'm talking about the energy of that sign, the state of being, because we can learn from them all. We actually have, if you ever get your birth chart done, you'll notice you have most signs probably in your birth chart. And, so we have a little bit of every sign in us, and this is representing just one of them. In your own individual life, in taking this reading into context, this could be someone, oh no, call it was someone who is a Cancer. I believe you. I'm sure your intuition will be telling you whatever you need to know, but I just want you to understand that's not my intention. I'm not pointing out specific signs. I don't see how that's possible anyway. When you have, reading for, my channel is really small, but some channels are huge, and they're talking about every single person. In the same reading, it was a Cancer energy. I know they're talking about the sun sign and the, rising and then the moon a lot of the time. But the thing is, how do you know that about someone unless you know them really well? And how weird would it be, like, if you're going on a date with someone and you're asking them, can you phone your mother and find out what time you were born? Giving information to someone, make sure you know who you're giving your information to if you do get your birth chart done. It's like giving your social insurance number to a total stranger on the spiritual level. It's not a small thing. Some people, it's not, you don't just give that information out to anyone. I mean, a lot of times people will know, the date of your birth, but to know the timing and where you were born and all of that, that is something, just keep it to yourself. And if you are using a service, make sure they're legit. Destruction, so this is tactics, progress in motion. This is talking about, this energy here of people going out of their way to destroy someone's reputation, basically defamation of character, that type of energy. And it's interesting because it seems like it's talking about because they don't want them to be successful in love. So this could maybe be someone from your past that wants you to come back to them, or it could be someone from your past that really can't stand you and they ruin your reputation as best they can. They involve, a bunch of snowflakes, and like I said, anyone can handle a flake or two. But if, there's enough flakes out there participating in the energy, well, it can get pretty stupid, really. But, unfortunately, it happens. So this is the solar plexus energy, having the courage to be able to really take a look at what happened here, figure out, okay, what can I do differently so that this doesn't happen again? What have I learned from this? Take responsibility for your part and have the courage to look at your shadow side, which can take a lot of courage to do that. But it's really a great idea, because if you learn from the past, then you move forward with a real strong future, and it's raising your vibration to a level where you attract someone who also has done that work and is less likely, you know, you're more likely to be in the same mindset, basically. We have the Hierophant here again, and so this is sitting on this energy of the Magician. So it's saying, I feel like the energetic upgrade is a big part of this justice coming in. I mean, who doesn't want 10 pentacles, you know? I mean, that's a great lifestyle. And all this passion in a marriage and with someone that, you know, you have a lot of love for and treats you like the knight in shining armor. I mean, who's going to sneeze at that, right? And this is talking about, it might be everything that you ever wished for. Recognizing, of course, that whatever you're wishing for, you know, this is talking a lot of chakra energy actually coming up here. And so whatever you're wishing for, it means you don't have it yet. So you have to remember to stay, you have to have a good attitude. You can't just wish upon a star and then be sitting there and 2 years later, you're still sitting there. And you're going, I don't understand why not anything, like my wish has not come true as of yet. No, it doesn't work like that. You might wish for something, but it means you don't have it. You need to put some energy into it and have a good attitude to get it. And then we have the moon energy coming up again. So this is significant. Use your intuition. That's what it's saying here. The moon, this moon energy, like this is a very emotionally intuitive month because, hey, we won't have another blue moon likely for another 2.5 to 3 years. So it's special energy, and it's like I said, we've got Venus, and you know, like this is the perfect energy, Venus and money, love and money. You see that? So the astrology is definitely supporting this. And again, it's saying the High Priestess, you know, she's joyful because she uses her intuition. And look at this, you can anticipate then a foolhardy journey. Like this is like a whole new world coming in for you, where you don't have to have expectations of how it's going to happen. Just have anticipation for all of this excellent energy coming towards you. You deserve it. Why not? Why not? Right? There's no towers here. There's no devils here. I like this reading. There's lots of chakras opening. There's lots of intuition, reckless abandon, reckless, W-R-E-C-K. So this is talking about discipline of the mind is the best way for you to have freedom. All right, I really enjoyed this reading. It was a breath of fresh air. So I do hope you've enjoyed it as well. Give it a like and comment. I really appreciate it. It helps me build my channel. And also consider subscribing. I would be honored if you did so. I'll be back with another tattletale for you again tomorrow. Bye for now.